why do some people's vitamin D levels not go up despite appropriate supplementation with vitamin D? I get this question all the time, and the two most common reasons that I see in my practice is one, insulin resistance. Any kind of insulin resistance, whether it's associated with polycystic ovarian syndrome or PCOS in women, in men, metabolic syndrome. Women also can have metabolic syndrome and not necessarily PCOS. Anything that involves problems with glucose metabolism can interfere with vitamin D metabolism and vitamin D absorption. So those patients are at considerable risk of vitamin D deficiency. Chronic illnesses and other things, also thyroid disease. There are a number of other conditions that can be associated, but number one is insulin resistance. And so those patients may need higher doses, may need injections. There are different strategies that we use, and ultimately controlling the insulin resistance can really, really help. Number two is the quality of the vitamin D supplementation. This is actually the main reason I started manufacturing my own vitamins. About 15 years ago, when I started my practice, I've been interested in vitamin D metabolism for probably longer than that. And so I always check levels. And when the levels were low, I would just recommend people go and buy a vitamin D supplement over the counter. And then I couldn't get people's vitamin D levels up appropriately. And I started doing research and seeing that there were so many companies that were not validating whether they had appropriate amounts of vitamin D in their supplement, the excipients that the vitamin D was combined with, maybe affecting absorption. You know, the bottom line is that I was really disappointed with what was out in the market. And so when I started manufacturing my own, the difference was remarkable. When patients take the vitamin D that I recommend, we often have greater success at getting their levels to where we want them to be. Now, everyone is different. The range that I use in my practice is somewhere between 60 and 80. But some people, you know, are fine a little less than 60. Some people need a little bit more than 80. It has to be personalized. That's why I say all the time, right? No, there's no right number for everybody. You have to take everything into account. But that is the reason, and I wanted to make sure that that I answer these questions, because I think it's really important, because I think there's not a lot of information out there as to why vitamin D levels stay low.